Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are opening up an incredibly actionable toolkit that's designed to completely shift your mindset. We're moving away from passive English learning and stepping right into confident, active speaking. So if you've been studying for years but still find yourself struggling to actually communicate when it counts, well, you are exactly where you need to be.
We are going to tackle that universally frustrating experience of just going totally blank in real-life conversations. You know the feeling, right? You know the vocabulary, you know the grammar rules inside and out, but the exact moment a real conversation starts, whether you're meeting someone new at the park or sitting down for a high-stakes job interview, your mind just hits a brick wall and stops.
So here is our blueprint for today. We're covering the exact frameworks you need to conquer that speaking anxiety. We'll start with why you freeze up, move into a 15-minute daily habit, talk about shadowing, show you how to leverage an AI conversation partner, master your self-introduction, and finally launch you into a 30-day challenge. All right, kicking things off with part 1, why you freeze up, also known as the fluency gap.
The first crucial thing to understand is that your hesitation usually doesn't come from a lack of knowledge. Actually, it comes from a lack of vocal muscle memory. Fluency lives in your mouth, not your eyes. Reading a textbook silently is fantastic for gathering knowledge, sure, but it absolutely does not train your mouth to produce those sounds under pressure. This perfectly illustrates the core issue we face. Passive studying traps you into this habit of translating in your head. When someone asks you a question, you think of the answer in your native language. You translate it, you panic a bit about the grammar, and only then do you try to speak. It is exhausting. Active recall, on the other hand, forces you to think directly in English and, more importantly, recover gracefully from mistakes. And you know, mistakes aren't failures. They're literally just how you learn to balance, kind of like riding a bike.
Moving right along to part 2, the 15-minute daily habit. This is all about consistency over intensity.
Listen, you really do not need hours of study time to improve. What you actually need is a consistent, daily habit that trains those vocal muscles. A highly actionable 15-minute daily routine of focused effort completely beats hours of weekend cramming, every single time. By breaking your daily practice down into these 4 micro-blocks, you're creating a powerful, manageable habit that builds confidence without feeling like a chore. For minutes 1 to 3, you just warm up by talking to yourself out loud. Stuff like, I feel tired today, I'm making breakfast. Then you move straight into shadowing, applying some vocabulary, and finally answering a question out loud to recap. It's fast, it's efficient, and trust me, it works.
Okay, part 3, shadowing and solo practice. It's time to train your mouth.
Looking closely at that shadowing block we just mentioned, this is a solo technique where you essentially copy the rhythm and flow of a native speaker to improve your pronunciation. This is where you really start to train your mouth to handle the physical act of speaking. The rule here is incredibly simple. Listen, repeat out loud, and completely ignore perfection. The goal isn't flawless grammar. It's simply getting your mouth used to producing the sounds naturally. Imagine you're listening to a conversation practice story. Let's say a story about meeting a new friend at the park. You hear the speaker say, "Hello, is this seat free?" You immediately repeat it. You hear them ask, "What do you do in your free time?" You say it out loud. You practice talking about hobbies, saying things like, "I enjoy reading books and watching movies." By shadowing these simple, everyday interactions over and over, your confidence is going to grow immensely.
Which brings us to part 4, your AI conversation partner for totally judgment-free practice.
Now, what if you actually want a back-and-forth conversation? Well, if you're afraid of making mistakes in front of humans, which we all are at first, modern AI tutors are the ultimate judgment-free solution, and they're available 24/7. They never get tired, and they definitely never judge you for using the wrong tense. You can literally screenshot this exact prompt right now, drop it into ChatGPT, and instantly simulate a back-and-forth conversation that's tailored exactly to your level. By telling the AI to only ask one question at a time and wait for your answer, you prevent it from giving you those overwhelming walls of text. It acts exactly like a patient, supportive conversation coach.
The true power of this AI loop, though, is having it highlight your repeating errors, which helps you correct your grammar mid-sentence without all that social anxiety. You can just tell the AI, hey, after I answer, gently correct my grammar. This helps you notice patterns in your mistakes, like maybe you're constantly mixing up past and present tense, so you can actively start repairing them in real time.
And as you build confidence, you can escalate your AI roleplay scenarios, forcing your brain to handle a bit more unpredictability and complex vocabulary. You can go from ordering at a beginner level in a restaurant to an intermediate casual catch-up. You could even roleplay that park scenario we talked about earlier, practicing how to handle a small problem, like a lost phone. Imagine typing to the AI, "Oh no, I can't find my phone," and practicing how to politely ask someone for help looking for it. The more scenarios you practice in this super low-stakes environment, the more ready you're going to be for the real world.
All right, let's look at part 5, mastering the self-introduction. We want structure over rambling. We have to tackle the most common speaking scenario in the world, introducing yourself without nervously overloading people with your entire life story. When we panic, we usually tend to either say nothing at all or just ramble endlessly. But the language experts at Preply provide this fantastic 8-step formula. It basically acts as an anchor for your brain, letting you breeze right through introductions without panicking. It moves logically from basic facts, to your role, to a personal detail that builds rapport, and finally, a closing invitation to pass the ball back to the other person.
The absolutely crucial point here is keeping it incredibly simple. Using these natural chunks of language is way more impactful than a complicated, hesitating monologue. Think of our park story again. If our characters, Emma and David, are meeting for the first time, she doesn't give him a massive biography. She simply says, "My name is Emma. I'm a teacher. I teach English at a school." It's direct, it's clear, and it invites an easy connection. Less is definitely more.
And finally, part 6, the 30-day speaking challenge, taking you from silent to confident.
To truly bridge that fluency gap, we are framing this entire toolkit as a 30-day escalating challenge. We aren't just going to learn about this. We are actually going to do it. You'll start by just getting used to the sound of your own voice in week 1, literally just answering simple questions out loud. In week 2, you'll ask the AI to help you build follow-up questions to keep a conversation going. By week 3, you'll focus on fixing those repeating grammar mistakes. And by the time you hit week 4, you'll be actively repairing mistakes while speaking on a specific topic for a full uninterrupted minute.
So, here is the big question. What will your English actually sound like 30 days from now if you commit just 15 minutes a day to these active, judgment-free tools? Imagine the confidence you'll have in a month. As our park story reminded us, the secret is simple. Never stop practicing because small daily practice brings big success. Try introducing yourself out loud right now, record it on your phone, and kick off your day 1 today. Thank you so much for joining me for this explanator. Keep smiling, keep practicing, and I'll catch you in the next one.